Om. Om. Shuklam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanan Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantayen Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Shri Gurave Shri Satya Sainath Shri Padukam Pujayami Namaha Om Shri Paramagurave Shri Shirdi Sainath Shri Padukam Pujayami Namaha Om Shri Parameshti Gurave Shri Dattatreya Swami Shri Padukam Pujayami Namaha Shri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha Hare Om Asya Shri Rātri Sūktasya कुशिक ऋषिः रात्रिर्देवता गायत्री छन्दः श्रीजगदम्बा प्रीत्यर्थे सप्तशती पाठादौ जपे विनियोगः ॐ रात्रि व्यख्यदायति पूरुत्रा देव्या अक्षभिः विश्वा अधिश्रियोगोधित ओर्वप्र अमर्त्या निवतो देव्यू उद्वताः ज्योतिषा बाधते तमाः निरुस्वसागारमस्कृतो शसन् देव्यायति अपेदुहासते तमाः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are studying together Rātri Sūktam, this beautiful expounding about this thing called Ratri. What is Ratri? And while we are looking at this Ratri, the first and foremost thing we should get out of our head is the colloquial interpretation and meaning of the word Ratri, in English called night. It is not night. Ratri is not darkness. Ratri is not absence of light. On the contrary, Ratri is complete presence of light. Complete presence of light. Now, if you look at this Purvanga Patha that we are going through for Devi Saptashati, we invoked Kavacham, we invoked Argala, we invoked Kilakam, and then we do Rātri Sūktam, and after that there will be Ekadasha Nyasas, installations, and after these Nyasas, then one gets into the Parayanam of Devi Saptashati, and then Nyasa again, concluding Nyasa, and after those Nyasa we chant Devi Sūktam. Out of this entire Parayana Krama of Saptashati, the only two Vedic chants that are invoked are Rātri Sūktam and the Devi Sūktam. And there is a tremendous significance of this. In fact, if you actually chant Devi Sūktam, which is the Rigvediya Devi Sūktam by Vagambrani Rishi, that is equivalent to chanting the entire Devi Saptashati unequivocally. And now that doesn't mean now let's go jump, learn 8 verses and get done with it. Why I should chant 700 and sit through 3 hours? That is not the point. This is the point of that is if you are in a state of presence where you are in complete sync with that cosmic divine form of the mother, Rātri Sūktam and Devi Sūktam are the most powerful to actually come so close to knowing the Mahamaya. Why is this Rātri Sūktam and Devi Sūktam only the Vedic chants? Because the rishis do not want to touch the Vedas because the Vedas speak the ultimate truth. Everything else is derivation of Vedas. You understand this? When the most important spiritual truth has to be expounded, rishis always chant only the Vedas, which Upanishads is, of course, the part of the Vedas. Everything else doesn't expound the real truth, the ultimate truth. So, therefore, no. Rātri Sūktam is calling out the ultimate truth, Devi Sūktam is calling the ultimate truth. In between is all the drama of the mother, formation of the mother, killing of all these guys, coming back and again, how many avatars it describes. All of this is very simply playing. You're watching a very powerful movie on a 3D screen, and on the 3D screen, you are now becoming that character called Devi. Get into it. But in order for you to get into that character called Devi and fight all these wars and everything, you have to have the mindset, the appropriate environment, like in a theater, and then where you will have all the perfect speakers, the sound system, everything. You have to smell, you have to touch, you have to feel, you have to get into all the experience of virtual reality. Have you ever seen a movie like that? Nowadays, they also pump aroma while the virtual reality movie is going on. But you have to be completely prepared. If you doze off, there is no virtual reality or no reality. You have to be awake and aware to get into that character, to get into that person. Then you will really enjoy. So all this Purvanga Patha prepare you along with the Ekadasa Nyasa, the perfect constellation of all the energies within you to be prepared to get into this beautiful drama called Devi Mahatmyam. You understand now? Now come back to what is Rātri Sūktam. Yesterday we learned three rooks related to this, and the first rook is talking about Ratri Vyakhyadayati, the most beautifully expressed benevolent Ratri, and this is Devi, Devya, Akshabhihi. Ratri Vyakhyadayati. This expression about Devya Akshabhihi, and yesterday we talked about the luminous ones as her eyes, Akshabhihi. Akshabhihi. Very beautiful. Last night I went out and I was actually looking at the stars and trying to figure out what is this Akshabhihi, how does this relate to this? Then the word that actually when the Bhagavan Ramakrishna very beautifully says, during the night all these beautiful stars are looking down upon, just like the glittering eyes of the divine mother Kali is describing Rātri Sūkta. But during the day, those stars don't appear. But have they gone anywhere? Have the stars disappeared during the daytime? and come back during the night time. Bhagavan Ramakrishna's asking these questions. That means these luminous eyes of the mother are always looking, not just the mother, not just the earth. Hello, are the stars looking only the earth? The stars are looking the entire cosmos, and in fact, stars are so all pervading that thousands of galaxies are being looked upon by these stars. So by that interpretation, huh, by that interpretation, one that is constantly looking, the witness, the witness. And what is the name for the word witness in Sanskritam?
Sakshi.
Sakshi.
Sakshi, Akshabhihi, Sakshi. Therefore, Rātri Sūktam is about the supreme witness, the Sakshi. So, what is the closest meaning of the word Ratri? Sakshi. I'm 100% guarantee you that you will not see these interpretations written somewhere. It won't be written because this has to come through serious looking, Sakshi, seeing, Sakshi. Now, this is an amazing Siddhanta. What? Okay, there are preamble um, examples or pedagogies that are given to the students of Advaita Vedanta so that your system is prepared to understand what this is. This is what is called as the path of enquiry, vichara. The rest is all about karma and upasana, the ritual and the action associated with the ritual, like doing all the homa. All those things are the ritual aspect of it, or doing the mantra japa or yoga, sadhana, etc., which is related to upasana. But the ultimate realization happens only through vichara, when you inquire about every word that you listen and you speak and you look at each every word like a sakshi, a witness to that word, without any bias, no mental predisposition, no analysis paralysis, no intellectualization, but being totally present to that word. Last night, that's what this body had to do. I cannot understand because it was before sleeping and the stars were there. What do you actually mean? I'm looking at your beautiful, glittering eyes looking down upon Devi, Akshabhihi, Ratri, Vyakhyadayati, Purutra. Purutra means the one which is all pervading. Devi, Akshabhihi, your eyes are all pervading, your looks are all pervading, whether the sun appears or not, whether the clouds show up or not, you are constantly looking. All the rest of the stuff is coming and going, but you are present. Listen to this very carefully, brothers and sisters. Look at this. Look at this yourself. This is not philosophy. This is 100% practical. What I am talking about, every one of us have experience of this. Of what? Of this Ratri. With these glittering stars looking upon the entire cosmos. All the constellations. All the time. Whether there is light or not. Whether rain or not. The stars are shining. And there are thousands of light years away, but yet their presence so removed from all of this, but yet so close when you are present to it. And you will know this only if you go to Kailas. And during the time when we went long time ago, in 2012, 10 years ago, when we went to Kailas, I had the experience of actually looking at the galaxy and all the stars literally falling on you in the presence of this Kailas. They are falling on you. And it was Guru Purnima, 2012, 10 years ago, Guru Purnima, July 3rd, was in Kailas. And this Vishwa Adhishriyodhita, this presence of this Sakshi is beyond, above and beyond anything related to this worldly experience. Vishwa Adhishriyodhita. Now, this meaning I didn't give yesterday because the revelation didn't come yesterday. Only after being present to the Ratri, out of that infinite grace, the Ratri said, okay, I will actually tell you who I am. Look at me. Be present. Uruvapra, Orvapra, Amartya, eternal, immortal, all the time present. Nivato, below, Udvataha, above. This supreme divine effulgence is present. Uru here meaning the body, pervading the body, pervading the senses, pervading the mind, the intellect. It is all the time present. Why? It is. What's the word for other word for Ratri?
Sakshi.
Sakshi. Now you understand? So, what are we talked about the word Ratri in the context of the three. And the three being the gross, the subtle, and the causal. The gross being the hardware, the iPhone itself. The subtle being the operating system plus data revealed. The causal being only encrypted data, no expression of the data. All the data is encrypted and compressed. The gross, when all the mind, the senses, everything is awake, and it is this mind that is giving light to the senses, and the senses giving the light to the body. So all the sakshi, the seer, is actually giving the light to the seen, which is the mind. The mind then gives the light to the senses. The senses then give the light to the gross body, and the gross body gets into action because of the light derived from this seer, all the way from the sakshi to the tools of your action. Vakpani padapayu upastha karmendriyas. So where is all the light coming from? It is coming from this consciousness. Consciousness is Swayam Prakasha, self-illuminous, the sentient. The mind is not Swayam Prakasha. The moon is not Swayam Prakasha. The moon is deriving the luminance from the consciousness. The mind then gives that light to the senses, and the senses then give the light to the body. Everything, all the way from your gross body to all the way to your intellect and to your ego, everything is not self-luminous. The only thing that is self-luminous is the actual seer, which is the Sakshi. Therefore, Ratri is Sakshi. This Sakshi cannot be described in shlokas. This Sakshi has to be actually derived from the Vedic truth. Therefore, Rātri Sūktam is from Veda. Nothing can describe Sakshi. All, the Sakshi has to be, it cannot be described because it's not an object of experience. This Sakshi, the witness, is the subject. It is not the object. Everything else is an object to it. Yes, so far so good. So we went to this two shlokas, two ruks, Orvapra, Amartya, Nivato, Devi, Devihi, Udvataha, Jyotisha Badhate Tamaha. With your incredible self luminousness, destroy the ignorance, the tamaha. Nirusvasaramaskrutoshasan devyayati apedu hasate tamaha. Nihi u svasaram askruta ushasan devi ayati. These are the breakdown of that compound word. Svasaram askrutoshasan devyayati. You are already light. You are the Ushas yourself. Because what is Sakshi? Sakshi is self luminance. It is the supreme consciousness. And that supreme consciousness is automatically associated with it is light. It is none other than light. You are the Ushasan. Now to call it as a sibling is actually not the right. Svasaram means the actual essence of yourself. Saram means essence. Svasaram, the self essence of this Devi that is already present is nothing but light. And when that light comes, it laughs at darkness. It will not allow darkness or ignorance to exist. प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोध समये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. The essence of Guru Purnima is still completely present here all the time. So therefore, and the self-luminous thing that I was explaining about, that it is sitting, it is always present, and through which everything is getting enlightened. Nana chidra ghatodara sthita mahadeepa prabha bhaswaram jnanam yasya tu chakshuradi karana dvara bahispandate janamiti tameva bhantam anubhati etat samastam jagat. Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So when this light, this Mahadipam, Mahadipam, the self-luminous, Mahadipam means nobody is lighting it. The light that is constantly shining without anybody lighting it. It is self-luminous, Mahadipam. And this Mahadipam is Prabha Bhaswaram. It's self-effervescent and effulgence, and that supreme effulgence that is coming through all the objects that are now receiving this, the insentient objects that are now illuminated by this Nihi U, already present self-effulgence. And when that light is coming out, darkness is dispelled. Apedu hasate, apedu hasate tamaha. Sanaha. No, I hope you are all seeing this and we are looking at this together. This is not a discourse. This is not a pravachanam where one guy talks and the rest are listening. We are doing this as a meditation, a collective meditation, a sadhana, where there is actually no teacher and student relationship. I am not the teacher and neither are you the student. We are all students going through this beautiful experience of this witness consciousness, Sakshi, which is Ratri. You ask the question, sir, why you are chanting about this witness consciousness? Because the kavacham is about the gross body, the jagrat experience, where in the kavacham you're talking about everything that you can perceive as an object, inside and outside. That is what kavacham is doing. Go check it out. Everything is about inside, from the tip of your nail to the most inner core of your thought. Kavacham covers. And that is all gross. It is all jada. But the jada is awakened because of the presence of the chandi. Otherwise, it's a corpse, a shava. Then, with the presence of the chandi, became Shiva. So Shiva enters, and all this gross things from the tip of your nail, Nakagra, or Roma Kupa, the pores of your skin, all the way to the relationship of that gross entity with the family, progeny, all of that thing is gross. The whole world is gross, gross, and that is Kavacham. Then in the subtle, the swapna, this gentleman asked the question about all these different states. In the swapna, which is in the dream state, the body is not active. The gross body is not active. But the mind, along with the apps, they're still running. The iPhone is in the sleep mode physically, but the apps and the iOS are running. And therefore, there is projection of the thoughts in the dream state. That is the second. The third, and that second state, what is that projection? What is the world projected as? Names and forms. Rupan Dehi, Jayan Dehi, Yasho Dehi. Name, form, functionality are projected. विश्वन्दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन् आत्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. The supreme essence of who this Dakshinamurti, the nine beautiful shlokas written by Adi Shankara, if you actually understand and dig deep into them, all this becomes automatically unraveled. In that he's saying, in Nidra, I bahihi udbhutam, it is projected. What is projected? What is stored as thoughts is projected like names and forms and functions. But the body is not active. The body is lying down. The mind, along with its senses, is playing a movie of the stored thoughts. And those are illumined by Supreme Consciousness. That is Argala, the lock. And then the Kilakam, all the data is now encrypted, compressed, going into the seed form, where neither the physical body, the iPhone, is not there, neither are all the associated senses or the operating system, iOS 14.9 or whatever, none of that is present, but only data is stored, that is encrypted and compressed, that is kilakam. All these three are nothing but state of mind, nothing to do with consciousness. Your awakened state, as I already described, mind, senses, gross body, that is what is our awakened state, our jagrat. All are active. Mind fully active. Not only mind is active, but it is activating the other senses and gross parts of your body. Yeah, are you with me, Sairam brothers? Please. Ranimir, so far I'm making sense. Yeah, okay, good. Then in the dream state, mind is half active. Your ahankara is half active. In deep sleep state, mind is completely inactive. Therefore, there is no awareness whatsoever about who you are, because we are completely dependent on our mind to tell us what we are experiencing. We are 100% dependent on it. Therefore, we will not be able to express what we went through in deep sleep state, because it's null, it is zero. If you only described that, then you have not come anywhere close to this thing called Mahamaya. Because Mahamaya is not the mind, it is not a delusionary substance. Maya is not delusion, please. Maya can appear or make the unreal look like real, but it is not delusion. Beyond all these three states, there is the witness consciousness called Sakshi, and the name of that is Ratri otherwise. And that's what we are invoking to this Rigvediya Ratri Sūktam. And once you come close to this Sakshi, then you are now ready with all the force. That this Turiyam is called the fourth. The Turiyam is the fourth. But actually, it is not the fourth. It is the one that is present to all the three and beyond. Therefore, it is called the fourth. And this is Mandukya Upanishad. This is Mandukya Upanishad. What I just told is Mandukya Karika. If you actually look at this, there is a beautiful exposition of what all of this is. And this is nothing but the beautiful expression of the Omkara, with the a, u, ma, and the silence. The a representing the awakened state, the u represent the half the dream state, and the ma representing the deep sleep state, and the silence, ardhamatra stita, ardhamatra stita, anucharya, unexpressible, but yet present as supreme witness consciousness. That is Omkara. And that's what the entire expression of this Rātri Sūktam is expounded as shlokas and expressed in shlokas by Brahma to bring this mother or this witness consciousness that is creating this avarana out. And that is what he did in Rātri Sūktam. Now, Sano, Adya, Yasyā, Vayan, this next Ruk that we are studying, Sanaha, Adya, Yasyaha, Vayannite, Yaman, avikshmahi, Vrukshena, Vasatim, Vayaha. Now what is saying here? Sano Adya Yasya Vayan, that has approached us. The literal translation. That Ratri Devi has approached us. Sa means she, naha, to us, adya yasyā yaman avikshmahi. This Ratri Devi, adya means right now, here and now. It is present. It is present. Yaman avikshmahi. It is present. Vayan came. Now, what is the description of this? This is what I was calling quants. This is they won't reveal it because you have to grasp it. This thing called, now interpret this sa as this consciousness, witness consciousness, supreme consciousness. It is right now, here and now, present, all the time, with you. It is not gone anywhere to come back. It is with you. Sano adya yasyā yaman avikshmahi. And now what we're saying, vrukshena vasatim vayaha. May we now reside securely, just like the birds who return to their nests in the trees. What are the birds? Where are they coming? Now, from a relative interpretation, relative world interpretation, you can describe this. Oh, the night has come. It is now dark. May all the birds return back to their trees to rest. That is the literal meaning. The inner meaning is not that. For the spirit, now this is vichara, that is achara. Achara means practice without knowing what you are doing, simply practicing. But the vichara aspect of it is, hey, this thing called witness consciousness, supreme consciousness, is always present. But what moved away from it? What moved away from it?
The
What moved away?
ignorance.
Huh?
The ignorance.
No, no. What moved
Uh,
away from this witness consciousness in you? See, you are witness
a mind,
consciousness.
a
You
mind,
are
Maya.
the
mind,
supreme witness consciousness. What moved away from that witness consciousness?
Body, mind, and senses.
I.
You are muted, uncle. You are muted.
Shekhar, you're muted.
Okay. So during the daytime, what do the birds do? They leave the nest. They fly somewhere away. And the moment dawn comes, they all return to the tree, to their nest. So when the day came, the awakened senses, propelled by the thoughts of the outside world, all these birds are the thoughts. They are going away, flying away. From where? From your witness consciousness. You lost your thought because all your senses now are grabbing those thoughts. The world is grabbing those thoughts. And therefore, the senses go out. You have to go to work. You have to go to work. That means different world. Now the world, you have to get up. The world is pulling away. Everything is taken away by the world. And the thoughts are flying now in the world. And the night time comes, you return home, watch Wheel of Fortune, and then go to bed. What here is saying is, array fools, this witness consciousness is the actual state. Return all your thoughts back to this witness consciousness. That means what? Don't allow your thoughts take you away from witness consciousness. She is present right here. Just like the birds return to the nest to rest. Return all your thoughts and rest in witness consciousness. Sano adya yasyā vayannite yamanna vikṣmahi vrukṣena vasatim vayaha. Yes, brother. I, I, I made you hold on to this for God. Unbelievable. 41 minutes. But is this okay?
Okay, okay, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Super. Om Sano adya yasyā
Om Sano adya yasyā Sano adya yasyā
vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi
Vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi Vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi
Sano adya yasyā vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi
Sano adya yasyā Vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi Sano adya yasyā Vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi
vrukṣena vasatim vayaha
Vrikṣena vasatim vayaha Vrikṣena vasatim vayaha
Sano adya yasyā vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi vrukṣena vasatim vayaha
Sano adya yasyā Vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi Vrikṣena vasatim vayaha Sano adya yasyā Vayanniteya manna vikṣmahi Vrikṣena vasatim vayaha
Nigrāmāso avikshata nipadvanto nipakṣiṇāha syenāsaha rthina. Nigrāmāso avikshata nipadvanto nipakṣiṇāha syenāsaha rthina. Grāmāsaha, all these people that live in the village, grāmāsaha. I'm giving the literal meaning. Grāmāsaha, all the people that are living in this village, meaning the villagers, they also came back. Ni avikshata. They came back to their homes. Ni avikshata. Ni avikshata grāmāsaha. All the villagers, grāmāsaha, nivikshata. All the villagers have returned to their homes. So did nipadvanto. Padvanto means animals. Those that walk on four legs. Pada means feet. Those that walk on their feet. Means what? Other than villagers that walk on the feet, there are others that also walk on the feet, like the cattle, etc. They also returned home. So did nipakshinaha. So did all that flies also came back to their homes. This is so beautiful, no? This is so real. Everything we can relate to. We can't relate to cattle coming home, but definitely if you are a villager, you can return to. You can see this, and you are in Puttaparthi, yeah, in the evening around 5:30, 6 o'clock, right after the afternoon darshan. You hear only the bird sound and the blessings from them when you walk under the trees. So kit 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 kit, how much sound these birds are making coming back to the trees. Nipakshina. Nisyena, syenāsaha, syenāsaha. Syenāsaha means syena means eagles. The vultures also came back Chidardhinaha. Chidardhinaha means he didn't write the translation for that. Chidardhinaha, it's not. See, he covered villagers, he covered those that walk, those that fly, and those that falcons. Chidardhinaha, though he's meaning that as a praise. Okay. Chidardhinaha also means those the travelers also returned. That is the literal meaning of it. What is the inner meaning of this in the context of what we are talking about? Hmm? What are those that are living in the village? The villagers. What are those in you that walk on the feet? What are those that fly in you? What are the eagles in you? Oh my God. This is so profound and symbolic. Grāmāsaha means the gross. Padvantaha means the karmendriyas. Pakshinaha is the jnanendriyas. Syenāsaha means your inner faculties. Chidardhinaha means that intellect which is so closely associated with chit, the awareness. All of them are coming to rest in this witness consciousness. Means all your gross aspects have retired. All your senses have retired. All your perception, the senses of action are padvantaha. Senses of perception, nipakshinaha. Why? Because your senses can go much farther than your senses of action. Your senses of perception can travel faster, can go far away compared to your senses of action. You all know the language, no? Hello, karmendriya, jnanendriya. The senses of action, vak, pani, pada, payu, upastha. The senses of perception, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasagandha. Mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. And all the other gross aspects, grāmāsaha, avikshata, nipadvanto, nipakshinaha, syenāsaha, chidardhinaha. Everything back to witness consciousness. Nothing is active now. Everything is returned back to witness consciousness. But when you are awake, all these have moved away from witness consciousness. Now you have returned. Means what? In what state of consciousness are you going to do this Devi Saptashati Parayana now? You understand why this is a Patha Daujape Vinyogaha? In the beginning of Patha, you are doing this. Means in complete restfulness of your body, mind, senses, organs of action, perception, everything in that state. Now you are going to now do the parayana of Saptashiti. Yes, Nigram. Go ahead, brother. Nigramaso, avikshata, nipadvanto, nipakshinaha, syenāsaha, chidardhinaha.
Nigrāmāso.
Nigrāmāso, nigrāmāso.
Avikshata nipadvanto nipakshinaha.
Avikshata nipadvanto nipakshinaha. Avikshata nipadvanto nipakshinaha.
Nigrāmāso. Avikshata nipadvanto nipakshinaha.
निग्रामासो अविक्षत निपद्वन्तो निपक्षिणाः निग्रामासो अविक्षत निपद्वन्तो निपक्षिणाः
निश्येनासश्चिदर्थिनाः
निश्येनासश्चिदर्थिनाः निश्येनासश्चिदर्थिनाः
निग्रामा आसो अविक्षतनिपद्वन्तो निपक्षिणाः निश्येनासश्चिदर्थिनाः
निग्रामासो अविक्षत निपद्वन्तो निपक्षिणाः निश्येनासश्चिदर्थिनाः निग्रामासो अविक्षत निपद्वन्तो निपक्षिणाः निश्येनासश्चिदर्थिनाः
यावयागावृक्या अवृकं यवयस्तेन मूर्म्ये अथानः सुतरा अभव. This is another very beautiful. See, when you returned home after work, you are not just bringing your body, your senses, your indriyas, all those things, your mind, intellect, everything back home. Along with all those things, when you return from work, you bring other things and you go to bed with all that other baggage in your head, more than what you went out with. When you get up in the morning, you are so energized, it is so amazing energy, feel of energy. But when you return home, you return with a castor oil face, no smile. That means what happened? When you went out to work and you came back, you brought a lot more baggage with you. And that baggage will not allow you to sleep. That baggage doesn't allow you to rest. You are tipping and tossing, you are turning this side, that side, because all this baggage that you brought home with you doesn't allow you to rest. And this baggage that you got, you unleash on the people around you at home. And you drag them also into sleeplessness. Hello, am I describing anything that most of us don't know? Hello, sorry. Isn't this the real life? Hello? Isn't this the real life? The next mantra is exactly talking about that. The next mantra is exactly talking about that. I went out of home with only my body, my senses, my energies, my inner faculties, but I brought home lot more than what I went out with. And that causes sleeplessness in me. So, Mother, protect me from all this baggage. Destroy all that baggage I brought so that I can rest in you and be that witness consciousness. And what is this baggage? Yāvaya vrukya amrukam. Vrukya means she wolf. Avrukam, amvrukam. So this brother will explain the intricacy of chanting here. Here is that same thing as devyu udvataha devya kṣmahi. Here also the anuswara comes here. Anuswara goes with the udattam, not with the anudattam, with the swaritam. So please keep away this male wolf, the female wolf, and all the other thieves that also came home with me. That is the literal meaning of it. Yavaya vrikya amrukam yavaya stenam. Stena. Do you remember where we used this word stena? Clue.
Rudram.
सेनानीभ्यश्च वो नमो
Huh?
Rudram.
Yeah. What Conchada chanted a different mantra. Where does that word stena come?
Namastena. Third one.
Whoever is talking to themselves, talk to us.
Namasahamana sir.
Correct, Harish. Namasahamanaya vyadhina vyadhini. Where this word?
Namastena.
Stenānaṁ pataye namo namo.
Stenānaṁ pataye
Pataye namo
namo.
namo.
Stenam means thieves. The Lord of the thieves. So, athana sutara bhava. Athana sutara bhava. Athanaha, atha naha, sutara bhava. What it is saying is, not only that, don't allow them to come in. Mother, don't allow them to come in. Here, urmye, the word urmye. Where does the word urmi come in?
ऊर्म्या च सूर्म्या
Where in which anuvakam urmi comes in Rudram? This is what is called study, adhyayana.
Fifth.
No, not fifth, not fifth.
पर्ण्याय च
Irinyaya cha,
पर्णशत्याय च
correct.
Nine.
Irinyaya cha. And who has paid attention to that anuvakam? What is the essence of Irinyaya cha?
Sleep.
Irinyaya cha, prapathyaya cha,
Prapatya.
Last class.
kipumsilaya cha.
Sayanaya cha.
Hold on. When I ask you a question, you answer. All of that anuvakam, the ninth anuvakam of Sri Rudram is about restfulness. Once you cross this bridge from the human to the divine, the ninth anuvakam, the most beautiful anuvakam after the eighth anuvakam, Sivaya cha Sivataraya cha, means you have crossed this bridge and now you are in the other side of divinity, and this divinity is supreme consciousness, witness, which is restfulness. And therefore, ninth anuvakam of Sri Rudram, if you go study and listen to what was explained when we did the Rudrajnana Yajna, it's all about rest. Gruhyaya cha, gehyaya cha, katyaya cha, gahvareshtaya cha, urmyaya cha. That urmi here actually means, oh mother. Urmi is referred to as Ratri. Another synonym for Ratri is urmi. Urmye means, oh witness consciousness Ratri Devi. Yavaya vrukya, please keep away from us this male wolf, the female wolf, and all the thieves that have entered my home when I came back to rest. This, we're all thinking, brothers and sisters, what are we chanting? And with what awareness are we chanting? What are we chanting? With what awareness are we? When we enter this awareness of chanting, the bliss that you derive from all of this is vichara. This is spiritual wisdom. It is not expounded anywhere in any. I can assure you. Go do your Google searches or find a book where this kind of meaning is written. Impossible. Because they have somehow gracefully just left it for us to do the vichara. But now, whatever I am expressing, you have to get into experience. Now, this is what is called Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Shravana means listening. Listening unconditionally. It is not even listening, it's actually looking. Shravana here means listening, looking, or becoming aware of it. All of that comes under this word Shravana. Then Manana, chewing the cud. Do you actually contemplate on it? Listening, Shravana is concentration, Manana is contemplation, and Nididhyasana is realization. Each of these words are so profound. So when you listen, you are looking at it together. Is this, do I understand this? Do I actually even get the concept of this? That's what listening. Am I grabbing the concept? Am I even coming close to grabbing this concept? And then the next thing is retaining. How do you retain it? Is it real for me? I understand it, but can I connect to it? Can I connect to it? So the effort that is being put in this Veda study is, if I cannot connect to it, there is no way any one of you can actually. So this effort to collectively connect to it, then there is bliss. Can I connect to it? And third, is this actually real for me? Is this true for me? Am I experiencing this? This is nididhyasana. And that is what's called, in the word realization, there is real. Huh? Is this a reality for me? Is this a reality for me? So when we are talking about this mantra, you see how intricately this Veda mantra is telling. First it is saying, may all the villagers, may all the cattle, may all the birds, may all the eagles, all of them come back and rest. But when they come back to rest, along with this, all this other thing, the male wolf is coming also from the forest, the female wolf is coming. That means what? All these wolves, the thieves, they're now ready to penetrate your home and steal things away from you. Why? Because it is Ratri. And when they're ready to steal, mother, atha naha sutara bhava. Take me across. Take me a sutara. Huh? The word sutara is used in Durga Sūktam also. Be present to take me away, or me not be affected by all these things. Now I said, what is a she wolf? What is a he wolf? What are the thieves? That we will cover in the session when we will conclude the class today. So the brother has to leave. So he told me is 4 minutes. So
Please continue. Please.
okay, then let us learn this mantra, and
Let
then
us go through.
this beautiful mantra, yāvaya vrikya amvrikam yavaya stenam urmye athanaha sutara bhava. So let's learn this mantra, and then we will conclude, and then I will explain what are the he wolf, she wolf, the thieves, and everybody else that are the baggage.
Yāvaya avrikya
यावया आवृक्या यावया आवृक्या
amvrukai
अंवृकै अंवृकै
yavayaste namurmye
यवयस्ते नमो ऊर्म्ये
Yāvaya avrikya amvrukai yavayaste namurmye
यावया आवृक्या अमृकै यवयस्तेन मूर्म्ये यावया आवृक्या अमृकै यवयस्तेन मूर्म्ये
atha anasutara abhava
अथा नसुतरा भव अथा नसुतरा भव
yavaya avrukya amvrukai yavayaste namu urmye atha anasutara abhava
यावया आवृक्या अमृकै यवयस्तेन मूर्म्ये अथा नसुतरा भव यावया आवृक्या अमृकै यवयस्तेन मूर्म्ये अथा नसुतरा भव.
Okay. So, Shanta, when you're chanting that Vrkya, it is not coming out clearly as a Svaritam. That Vrkya has to be a Svaritam, like Yavayaga Vrkya, Vrkya. That is, it has to be a Svaritam, not Vrkya, Vrkya. It is not a flat. The Vrkya has to be a Svaritam. Similarly, like Devyu Udvataha, like Devya Akshabhihi. So Devya Vrkya Devyu. That is why it is written as a Svaritam, and also that the Amvrukam, that part is fine. So let
yeah
us
Shekhar,
yeah,
sorry, I spoke about this yesterday. We also chanted that way, like
yeah,
Svarita,
yeah.
because we also thought that this, and sorry, because I have a new laptop and don't have this font installed. That's why all the Svara marks got a bit, to the right. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
But we have also chanted Vrkya, like Svarita.
Yeah.
But then we were told that it is not Svarita. It's actually Udata. It's the mid tone. So it is Vrkya. It is Udata, right? And then we have Anudata, Amvrkai I. So it is not, because we have checked this. And we are now chanting like this, flat. Yeah,
Okay.
because this priest told us that because we also follow the logic. That first one is Svarita, the second one is Anudata, right? Like
Right.
it's mentioned here, but it's not. And also the GRD Gurukul students and Ramesh is chanting, like that. Yeah, but we
I
were
see.
actually trying to find another explanation, and we asked in the on two more places, and everyone said it is really a flat. It is Udata, right? It's not.
Okay. So I will also look into that, because the way I learned it is always, it is when there is that. Otherwise, why would they even put the symbol of a Swaritam there?
Absolutely, this was our logic. We
Yeah.
followed,
And
But then, and we did our class, like that, chanting like that. But then we corrected,
I see.
because
Okay.
from many sides we were taught that actually it is not Svarita, it is Udata.
Okay. So I'll look into that as well. So let's with I was hoping we'll complete these two today, but maybe Swami's will that it has to be taken a little bit slowly and be ready for the chanting session on the August 6th. So you can see that everything is perfectly planned. By August 6th, we will complete the Rātri Sūktam, and on August 6th, we will offer the whole Purvangam along with the Purvangam, and start the. I have to still. I'm contemplating whether I should go to the Devi Suktam and the Uttara Patha and come back to the Devi Matyam, but we'll figure that out. But basically, this next class will complete the Rātri Sūktam, and I will touch base upon all the different Ekadasa Nyasas. There are 11 different Nyasas that are done before doing the Devi Patham, and this chanting of this, and I will teach the nyasa associated with doing all the Matrika Nyasa. There is the Matrika Nyasa from all the way to kṣam. Nyasas are done at different parts, and when you do these nyasas, then the Rātri Sūkta, the nyasa is now being present, instillation or instilling oneself. That is what nyasa actually means. And just like in Rudra Parayanam, we do Mahanyasa, which is becoming that. Na Rudro Rudramarchet. Without becoming that, you cannot invoke Shiva or Shakti. That's the essence of it. Now you know how important it is to do this before you do the Devi Parayana. Otherwise, you are not getting the full realization or full impact of chanting the Devi Mahatyam without becoming the Devi yourself, or becoming that, or being in that state of witness consciousness and instilling in that through nyasa. Then you do the parayana. And thanks for letting me know, brother, that you looked into that. I will also do my own research into it. It may be true that but logically it is not making sense to me. So that's what, because otherwise why would they put the swaritam there? And
We also follow the same logic, yes.
yeah, every time I heard it as swaritam and then starting with the udattam. So so let's close with so we'll go to the study session after this, but let's do the kṣama prarthana. ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु. Okay, let's look at what questions. Okay, there was no question, comment. Amazingly, there are no questions because everybody is restful. Huh?
Are blissful.
You said that you was going to explain Maha Shivaratri,
What are the
Moharatri.
different Ratris? The Kala Ratri, Maharatri, Moharatri. What are the different Ratris associated with the mother's with this witness consciousness? So, Kala Ratri is, quote unquote, literal translation of it is the dark night. Maharatri, the literal meaning of it is the supreme night. Moharatri is the one where there is a veil, moha. It is covered with moha. So, as you can see, the Ratri is never covered, but there is the appearance of this Ratri associated with different states of the mind. That is what is the inner significance of this. And the mind, when it is in the state of timelessness, it is Kalaratri. When the mind is supremely illumined, it is Maharatri. And when the mind is veiled by moha, attachment, it is Moharatri. So it is referring to the context of this supreme consciousness. if you look at this witness supreme consciousness as the sunlight, that sunlight is timeless. That sunlight can be so effulgent, like right now, what is happening in Sacramento, 107 degrees, not even a speck of cloud in the sky. That is Maharatri. Then there is the sun covered with a cloud, but the sun is shining. The sun is not gone anywhere. There is this appearance that the sun is shadowed. This is a Moharatri. Pavani is there. She also asked the same question. That's why I wanted to wait until we finish this. I wrote to her, stay tuned. Are you there, Pavani? Yes. Maybe not. Okay, she'll listen to this later. So, the reference to these in observance of the Ratris. Now there is Shivaratri, right? There is a Navaratri, all those kind of things. Now you can go do the exercise yourself, do a little bit of work and figure that out. And the context of what we're talking as Kalaratri, how when it is observed as as an auspicious night, when the mother is worshipped, the Kalaratri is Naraka Chaturdashi, which is coming, and we're going to do chanting on Naraka Chaturdashi this year, which happens to be coming in November, right? The dates, in one of the dates I gave is Naraka Chaturdashi, that is Kalaratri. Maharatri is referred to as Deepavali, which is the when the lights are coming, a supreme effulgence comes. That is Maharatri, is Deepavali observance. And then Moharatri, interestingly, is Krishna Janmashtami. Why is what is that to do with? Hello, you all connect to the story, no? Moharatri and Krishna Janmashtami, why they are linked?
No, Anna, I don't know why it is connected. Can you please explain?
What happened after the birth of Krishna?
Oh, right. Okay.
No, what do you mean? Oh, right.
So basically what happened was all the guards fell asleep, you
Ah,
know, and yeah, and the, you know, the river opened up in the middle
hmm,
for Vasudeva to take the little baby to
hmm.
Gokula.
So what did Krishna do?
Yeah, he put Moha. Yeah, right. I didn't say it very well, but yeah.
No, no, you said it fine. You said, I don't know, Anna, I don't know. But then if you look at it, you found it.
Right,
Where right there,
right.
that is Moharatri. Naraka Chaturdashi is very, very significant in the context of spiritual observation. And we'll get into that when we come close to Naraka Chaturdashi. I will explain what is this Naraka and where, who is he, why is that night auspicious night, why that is uh, the Kalaratri, the dark night, and then why Deepavali is the Maharatri. That is the explanation associated with the Ratris. Now, the he wolf and she wolf, who and the thieves. Uh, who is the he wolf? Who is the she wolf?
Anger and greed.
Keep writing all whatever you can feel. Uh, and then all the thieves.
Thoughts. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya.
Who are those? Who are those?
Thieves.
Okay, who is the he wolf and the she wolf?
She wolf is Asha, and other Kama, Krodha and male wolf.
No, it's Kamakrodha, she already answered. They are all the thieves waiting to steal.
Oh, thieves.
The thieves
Okay.
can
They are the
also
thieves.
be
They
the
are the
women.
stenam. They are the stenam. Yeah.
Ego.
Right. How can duality be a Chinna? How can duality be he and she? Duality is, they're very specifically calling out Vrukya, Amvrikam. Two things they're talking about. Vrukya is the female, Amvrikam is the male. The two wolves.
Is it the likes and dislikes now?
No, you keep writing. You have all different kinds of things that will come out now in this introspection. Likes and dislikes are associated with no. Imagine the context, right? I explained very clearly. When you go out of home and when you come back from home. When you go out of home, you're going without baggage. When you come back home, you come with a castor oil face and with all baggage. And all that baggage doesn't allow you to rest. This is a very practical example. Is this real for me? Ask the question. Is this real for me? Is this what happens in real life?
ராகத்வேஷம்.
தெரியும். கேட்டாலே உள்ள இருக்காளே.
There's some who said Ragadvesha?
குரல் கேட்டது. வரா.
Me, sir.
Who is me?
Harish.
Harish, okay. Okay. What is Ragadvesha in English?
Love, hate, I don't know.
Love, hate. Wow. You have now given a different interpretation of love now. It's okay. All right. Okay. Well, Ragadvesha is an interesting answer, but what is the source of Ragadvesha? Even fundamental.
I and mine.
Beautiful. Who said that? Who said that?
Yeah. Sukanya.
Sukanya. Very good.
What is that?
I and mine. The I and the mine. My ahankara, my ego, and then all the attachments associated with ego. They are the he wolf and the she wolf, and they, along with all these other thieves associated with them, the desire, the anger, the greed, the attachment, the jealous, and the arrogance. Don't use the words kama, krodha, lobha. That doesn't mean any damn thing for you in real life. Use the English words because that's how you can actually connect to them. Say desire, anger, greed, attachment, arrogance, jealousy. When you use those words, they actually, you can look at them. And this I and mine that return home, when you return home, all the I and the mine and the thieves are stealing away yourself or your ability to rest or to be the supreme witness consciousness. Adhata sutara bhava. Drive them away. You're telling this way, when this light comes up and your witness consciousness arises, then they will drive them away. Just a bird flew and came and sat right in the front of my window right now. So looking at me, drive them away. That's what you're telling this witness consciousness. Is that making any sense?
Yeah.
Attachments and expectations come from I and mine. Okay. Craving and aversion. No, craving and aversion, they're not opposite of the what you're all answering are the sub manifestations of very simply the I and the mine. And these two are like a couple. The ahankara and the mamakara, the two karas, the two spices of life. They are Telugu people are very blessed with this karas, and there are so many karas. We like all the spicy stuff. So there is this kara associated with I, and there is this mine, the mamakara, the ahankara, they are the fundamental manifestations again of the ego mind, and along with it come all the rest of the baggage. So when you went to work, you are very fresh without any of this stuff. And when you came home from work, huh, यावया वृक्या अमृकम यवयस्तेन मूर्म्ये अथात sutara bhava. Now this is also this Rātri Sūktam. People chant it before they go to bed also as a practice. Now you should do this consciously before you go to bed. It's a beautiful exercise. And then bring to life everything that you have observed during the day, and how much baggage you should have. This way, with the tradition of, at least to the extent that we used to follow in India, not here anymore, but when somebody came home, what they will do, they'll wash their feet, they'll wash their hand, they'll wash their face, and they leave their chapels outside, wash feet, hands, face, everything, and then only enter the home. And not only that, you have to take your clothes off and take a shower and then be present in the home. Why? You are leaving the entire baggage outside, and when you returned home, nothing is left from outside to be entering the home with you, because it's a place of worship and rest, not to express your baggage. Om Sri Sai Ram. Because of this COVID thing, now, oh, you have to wash 20 seconds. Now you have to wash 50 seconds. You are forced to do it because of fear. Because of fear. Now that you get diseased and you have to protect yourself, you're doing all these things. But what about all the baggage you bring home as viruses that are inflicting your mind and your conscience? Have you cleaned those? Are you cleaning those every day? Sairam. Okay. Now you understand how significant each of these suktas, that each of these stotras that we are learning and we are experiencing through, living through. This is what is a sakshi? What fundamentally is Ratri or a sakshi? What is this witness that we are talking about? How is it not related to the states of what the mind and the ego together? Mind and ego are one and the same, but they're different in functionalities. The ahankara, the ego, is classified as the false I, what is called as cida bhasa. It is the pseudo I. That pseudo I is the reflection of the witness consciousness, and that reflection is what we are catching, and we are associating ourselves with the reflection. We are never associating with the consciousness. So instead of being entangled in this reflection, become that witness consciousness. This is the supreme teaching of Advaita, the non-duality. So it is all brought forth. This is vichara. And in everything that we are chanting, and in everything that we are doing, whether it is Rudram, Durga Suktam, Purusha Suktam, whatever suktas you are chanting, whatever shlokas you are chanting, are we actually connecting through that supreme witness consciousness? If you do that, then you are in vichara, enquiry. This is the jnana marga. What are the other two marga? The other marga is bhakti marga. Also, it is another one called yoga marga, and this is jnana marga. What is bhakti marga? Instead of going through all this vichara, you can simply be lazy and say there is this supreme thing called God. I have blind faith in it, and I will just hang on to it, and therefore I will not do anything else but just sing bhajans, do artis to Bhagavan. That is also fine. If you do it, do it, your mind and your intellect will get purified to such an extent. After going through all of that, at some point, the God will say, "Hey, fellow is coming every day. singing aratis for me. He is not leaving me alone. Let me do something to this fellow and he will grace you with some. But it is all completely based on faith and belief. It may work, may not work.
It will work.
It may work, may not work. And the second thing is called Yoga Marga, where you go to this austerity of supreme yogic tantric practices, and then you completely kill every thought that comes and kill it and kill it and kill it and kill it to a point that nothing remains and only that. That is the Buddhistic path of nihilism. Empty, 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 empty. That also works, but it is hard for ordinary householders. Then there is this thing called vichara, the wisdom, where you accept everything, you enjoy everything, you enjoy the world and the God. But you see the God in the world and the world in the God, and you remain as the supreme witness consciousness. That is what is called vichara. And that requires complete attention and awareness. Those two have to be there. And they are called Shraddha and Saburi, written on the backslide there in Sanskritam, Shraddha and Saburi. Then it will lead to expression of love in service. And that is this Jnana. This is what Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is about. So when you read the Vahinis, when you read the incredible Jnana Kanda that Bhagavan has given, that is the prerequisite with complete attention to what he has said in Upanishad Vahinis, in Dharma Vahini, in all these Leela Kaivalya Vahini, Sutra Vahini, Upanishad Vahini. How many Vahinis are there? The God himself directly gave all this Gita Vahini, all the Ramakatha Rasa Vahini, Bhagavata Vahini. There is nothing that Bhagavan has not touched. In very simple, practical inquiry part of it, then you will really experience the miracles. All the other stuff are still abhasa, means impositions of what we are calling as experiences still of the mind and the intellect. And there is a mystical path associated with the mystic practices, and those mystic practices, they're all real. The Bhakti Marga is real. The mystic practice is real. The Jnana Marga is real. But what we are trying to see, even in going through this very simple literal meaning of this Rātri Sūktam, there is a constant quest about how is this related to my real I. Then the expression of that automatically happens. Then you simply enjoy life. You become that Sakshi. Huh? Now you have put everything. The drama is completely clear, no? In this, in six rooks, how beautifully the drama is laid out. Six rooks of Rātri Sūktam about witness consciousness, and how we got tricked by the word Ratri, interpreting as the night and darkness. Yes, we'll leave it here. Okay, we'll show the Turiya state. What is Turiya state, ma? Now, words, again, words.
No, it's the fourth state, Anna, where you are.
What is the fourth state, ma?
Yeah, that's what I'm explaining. In the fourth state, what it is like you were saying, it's a witness state, where your entire system it's a state of meditation where you're sitting in your whole body is very restful, nothing is moving, and your mind can be moving, your thoughts can be coming, but you're watching it. You're watching your thoughts. So when you're in that state of shunya or turiya state, then your whole body is rested and you're in a meditative state. You are in that state where you're fully awake, you're fully aware, but at the same time, your body is fully rested.
Okay. Trap number one. The word Turiya means literally the fourth, but spiritually means that beyond. Turiya. That is beyond means not it is the fourth state. It is the only state that is constant. Everything, all the other three come and go. It is the changeless state in the three changing states. Now, this is a completely different way of looking at it. Means what? When you are awake, it is present. When you are dreaming, it is present. When you are in deep sleep, it is present. It is not beyond these three. Means there is no other state other than this state. Therefore, it is called Turiya. Mandukya Upanishad is the source of what I am talking about.
Beautiful explanation, Anna. Thank you.
So, what is it? It is changeless in the changing. What is changing? Your mind, senses, body consciousness is constantly changing. It is up and down. When you are awake, the entire system of 17 is awake. When you are in your dream state, only your mind and senses are awake. And in deep sleep, there is no mind or the body and the senses awake. But that state is present through all these states. So don't call Turiya as a fourth state. Turiya is the state, that is the changeless state in the changing states. Just like how do I apply it to Rātri Sūktam? In the Rātri Sūktam we are saying Purutra, it is all pervading. Through what? Through the bottom, through the top, through your body, through your mind, your senses, everything. And the three states. Ra, that which is present, restful state that is present through all the three states. That is Ratri. This is very, very profound. So when you use the words, don't get fundamentally carried away by what you heard. Look at it yourself. This is the most important spiritual. This is the Jiddu Krishnamurti way of teaching. Do not get any opinion creep. Look at it yourself. Do I understand this? Is it real for me? Then only you will have, quote unquote, the complete total awareness of understanding it. So in that state, the changeless in the changing, the yogi, the one who is Mahayogi, yogi means yoga means connection, the one who is connected to that state of being as the witness consciousness, experiences these states but will not get involved in those states. You still have a mind. Yogi doesn't, yogi iva yaha svechaya, sva-ichaya. By their complete will, they will manifest these states by their will. But we are slaves of those states, whereas the yogi is the one that expresses those states based on their own will. So when you are complete, you can be completely in this changeless state with every complete system being active. Now you see, this is the most profound thing. So that is what Bhagavan is talking in Gita Vahini. Now this the three things that we talk about: Bhakti Yoga, the mystic path, Raja Yoga, or these other yogas, and then there is this Jnana Yoga. Very clearly, all these three will ultimately lead you to the same place, to the same Ratri. But the paths that you take are arduous, and they're not separate from each other. You can use these three, like Bhagavan says, Bhakti Jnana Karma Yogas, or like the three describing it to a woman with a long hair and can do a beautiful braided hair. Three payas, how they make the beautiful, hairdo. That's what Bhagavan compares to. He calls them as Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Triveni, flowing together. They're not separate from each other, but at the same time, you have to use achara, upachara, vichara. Achara is a karmic
Karma.
path. Upachara is about what we call as these upasanas. And then the vichara is the jnana marga. You can do the other two with this, then it will be much more profound. Yes, Sairam. We'll close. Any other questions, comments? ॐ स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेण मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai.
There will be practice at 2 o'clock. Today we'll do the Kelakam practice and also Rātri Sūktam practice. Jai Sai Ram.